Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the Ironman series. Between last episode and this one, we've been doing a lot more Hunter Rumours as well as spellcasting. Primarily Hunter is where we're getting the most experience, but as calculated previously, we are aiming for the 86 magic this episode, and with 85 we can now use our Tumican Shadow if we had one. But Hunter, of course, is getting a lot of attention. These Rumours are slowly creeping up in experience per hour. I think I was getting about 110k-ish in the low 80s, and now I'm in the mid to late 80s. I'm getting 140, 150, even 160k per hour if I'm very lucky with my RNG. But yeah, we actually managed to find a Dragon Impling without actually looking for one. And since the Hunter's kit has been improved by Jagex, I can actually put a boatload of different Hunter resources inside it, and I'm really enjoying using that while doing my Rumours. But in addition to Hunter Rumours being enjoyable, convenient, they're also good experience, and we've now managed to hit level 89 Hunter. And that leads us, of course, to where we are right now, just chilling out with the capybaras. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that or not, but you might have noticed my inventory is a bit of a mess. I want to make the Quetzal, I believe the thing is called, and to be honest, I don't think that thing is like all too convenient. It seems to be a teleport to the Hunter's Guild, but just using like actual magic, you know, if you just teleport to Varlamore, you end up just getting a free mage level. There's 86 for plank make. But if you just teleport here, you can just use the last destination, head off with Renu, and go to the guild from there. The Quetzal teleport itself doesn't seem to save a whole lot of time, but I'll get it for convenience. But if convenience turned into annoyance in terms of needing to charge it in some obscure way, then I'll probably just drop the thing. The only reason I'm actually putting stock into this thing is because I saw Herblore using it in a speed run. So I'm like, if he's using it, it makes sense. But to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'll trust somebody with speedrunning experience. But there's 90 Hunter. We can't quite get Master Rumours just yet, but you know, the episode's just starting. Give me a break. But in addition to getting those two important levels just now, I want to go ahead and open up some more of my loot sacks. I think I have some more in the bank actually. I don't think I withdrew them all. A slight little amendment I want to mention. Last episode I said these bones gave me 5 shards each. I was uneducated. I believe they give me 45, which is huge. This is going to be juicy. And of course we've got more that we need to open. We've got 66 in the bank and 77 in the inventory. This is going to be a fat stack of loot to start things off, and once we loot this entire stack, I think we'll have enough blueprints to try and make some Quetzals. I don't know if a Quetzal's the bird or it's the whistle, or I don't understand these words, but we're going to make the thing that requires a blueprint and hopefully get the highest level. I believe with the amount of Rumours that I've completed, we've got 356. I think we can talk to this NPC, one of the NPCs in this guild, and they give me a bunch of things, but I'm going to go look for that person instead of making you suffer while I try and do it on camera, because this is just not going to happen. Also, these things remind me of, like, you know those sticks of cheese that you peeled off at recess? Whatever. I'm going to find this NPC. Alright, so this guy will give me the free Quetzal basic blueprint. Fantastic. I'm being educated on how to use it, but to be honest, it's going to go through one ear and out the other, or through one eye and out the other. I don't know how to explain that. I thought I was going to get something more than the basic Quetzal blueprint, but I do need that anyway, I do believe. If you're going to upgrade your Quetzal, whatever it's called, you need the first thing in order to upgrade it to the second, and so on. So at least getting that is a first step in the right direction. Now for the main thing here, I want to deposit everything in the bank and grab myself my loot sacks. Last episode, I think we looted about 150 of them. It might have been actually a little bit less than this, so this will be interesting. I'll open these up once again. We'll speed things up and see how good the loot is. I'm actually excited this time because it's a 1 in 50 chance to get any piece of the equipment. Part of the reason why I wanted to start recording this episode, much like the Guardians of the Rift episodes, I'm just going to start opening them now. I couldn't wait to loot them because I want the benefits of the set to do my further training, and if I just kind of procrastinate and don't start recording because I just want to get X amount of loot sacks or whatever, it's so painful. So anyway, it looks like I'm getting a lot of duplicates of these Quetzal blueprints, but of course we're also getting parts of the gear that we need. I do believe we need a pair of shoes. I don't know if there's a cape or anything, and there is no way my bank is full. I don't have any bank fillers either. This is like an actual full bank. Uh-oh. Alrighty, we've made a little bit of room here. Hopefully anything that cannot be fit into the inventory can be fit into the bank. But it looks like a lot of the loot that you do get is kind of just like duplicated. You don't have to worry about getting 30 or 40 different items. There we go. There's the shoes right there. Fantastic. I don't know if that's the full set. I'm really hoping it is. Looks like we got a duplicate shirt. So if there is indeed protection from duplicates, seems to be a common trend for new content is to have such protection. But a little bit strange that you even can get a duplicate. Unless I'm like hallucinating, I'm pretty sure I already had one of those tops. It looks like, yeah, I'm wearing one. There's one in my inventory. I definitely have two, but I don't know if there's like a pair of gloves or a cape that I need. I might actually just check. Alright, so according to the wiki, there is indeed only 4 pieces. We now have the full set, which means we get a 2.5% buff. I do believe that is in catch rate or something along those lines. I did notice too, just having 2 pieces gave me an estimate of like, for example, my chinchompers, instead of needing 100 to be guaranteed the rare piece of fluff, it went down to like 97 if I had 2 pieces. So having 4, that might go down to something like 95, which will be nice. But I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these blueprints, make up these quetzals, and just hope to God that I have the levels required to make it. I definitely have the ingredients though, which is fortunate. But I must say, this loot, considering that I wasn't, you know, banking on this actually being decent, this is huge. This is like totally worth like celebrating, having access to all this. Even like the bone shards is just an absolute blessing. Alright, let's try and speed run this bad boy. We've got to start things off basic. What can we do? A whistle requires a knife and 1 set of willow logs. Looks like we've got that. If we just click craft, we'll make ourselves a basic one. From the basic one, I don't know, I'm just going to spam craft on all of these, to be honest, see what happens. Maybe I just did it. Perfected? That sounds perfect, right? You can't get better than perfect. Anyway, so the way this works, I do believe, is that if you take raw meat, if I just type in raw, this guy will charge these things based on how many meat I bring. Interestingly enough, you can't bring noted meat, but judging from the loot that I got before, this quetzal feed, I do believe this is like a quote-unquote meat that actually counts. I don't know if that raw beast meat is any good. This sunlight antelope isn't as good as moonlit antelope, I do believe, but could be mistaken, but it's only like 25 of them, so I don't really give a damn. If I take all this quetzal feed, hopefully that'll act as a charging thing. And if we recharge the whistle with this bad boy here, only takes 50. How many charges do I get from that? 50 charges. There's no way 50 is the max. Looking at the wiki, it does seem to be the best. 50 charges, really, man. I really just feel like I'm just going to use the Varlamore TPs, to be honest. It might, I don't know, like what is this teleport? You're already at the hunt. Fantastic, I can't even test it. Yeah, I don't know, unless I'm getting, I think I do actually get 3 charges per antelope. So if I take, you know, 16, 17 raw antelopes up to the top, I get 50 charges. Maybe it's worth my time. I'm not too sure. I'll play around with it. I'll burn all these charges and I'll just see. At the point that it needs recharging, I'll just kind of evaluate whether I can be bothered. Anyway, in other news, we have a fat cash stack. All of our high alchemy spells, for all intents and purposes, have been utilized, and we now have a green cash stack for once. Not only that, an excess of over 3 mil, and we still got alchemy left to conduct. So, this cash stack will be used for 2 things. This episode, we're going to be getting our construction level up now that we've just hit level 86 magic. I'll jump onto the Lunar Spellbook and we'll be able to turn all of our teak logs into planks. We will also have more teak logs that we need to collect from the kingdom. And speaking of the kingdom, we're just here right now. We're going to collect our resource and see how many teak logs we get. Kind of just doubled our stash here. So if we take all of this, what is that? We're going to have approximately 4.8k, not quite 5k in the bank, but that is more than enough for what I need, I do believe. But let's test out this teleport, see where we end up. Let's burn a charge. It's the bird taxi. Uber service has never been so hasty. But look, this isn't even good, man. What? I thought it might teleport me inside the guild. This is really not that good. Okay. I mean, I will use it. Upon reflection, the amount of game ticks I'm saving, it's probably worth it. But to be honest, if I don't bring lore runes, I can't accidentally teleport. So maybe that's the benefit that I've needed all along. Not being able to accidentally TP to Varlamore mid Hunter Rumor will actually be a pretty good buff to yours truly, seeing as though I just seemingly allow myself to just vanish from my current state of being at any random given point in time. But one random thing I also want to take note of is that I'm super low on dig site pendants, like very low, and I do believe I have a bunch of rubies to use. I don't know about my gold stash. It looks like it is okay. But on a side note, I was kind of hoping I had less gold, so this would make more sense in my brain. But what I want to do is actually go to the blast furnace. I've decided that I will end up using gold ore to try and buy out my smithing experience. I want to get a hefty stock of gold bars so that way I pretty much just have this account's entire career's worth of like jewelry set up. And I feel like getting 70 is like quite a low level, and even though it's something in the ballpark of 7 GP per XP, if I'm only buying like 1,000,000 GP worth of experience, I mean, I can take that on the chin right now. And of course, 70 smithing is the requirement for Song of the Elves. Can we buy 50? I've already set it up to 50 on a different account. How convenient. But yes, if we can unlock ourselves CG, you know, 7 million gold isn't so bad because we can replenish that, because if we end up going dry, which is not going to happen, this account isn't cursed, I'm going to manifest good energy on that one. Regardless whether or not we go dry or we get spooned, we're going to get a lot of money. And the faster we get access to the red prison, the faster we can replenish that 7 mil GP. And even if we were to save 5 mil in this process, it's like, it's money that I can afford to throw away. This isn't a speed run. I'm not trying to be super optimal. And as I've said before, I'm just trying to do things in a way that I enjoy the most. And for now, this is what that is. Giant's Foundry, for some reason, man, it just doesn't click with me, especially with like the high level stuff. But considering that I would need to buy myself a bunch of like mithril, what are they, like warhammers and like claws and stuff, it's just a pain in the nuts. And I want to do this method for a little bit. I think the dopamine associated with, you know, buying out a bunch of, you know, 1,000,000 experience worth of golden ore will, it'll just be a fat dopamine hit, and I can just bang it out in one little play session, and we'll be able to get just 17 levels just like that. It's no wonder my bank is absolutely filled to the brim when I've got just absolute garbage in my bank like this. Just random shapes, dude. I feel like a toddler in a playground. But yes, I do need to address the bank. The kind of luxury with the new account is that you don't really care what you put in your bank. That is now catching up to me. I've just dumped all the garbage I've ever found in this account's life straight into the bank with no regard of, you know, the fact that it might actually fill up, filled with garbage. But we have reached breaking point here. We've now got ourselves full graceful, as you can probably imagine, running around with, you know, only 24 inventory slots available, as well as wearing a bunch of non-weight reducing gear isn't exactly optimal. But anyway, I'm going to get stuck into buying this. I've done the calculations. I will need 10,500 golden ore to do this, and if I can't do that without my brain exploding, I'll probably just end up doing Giant's Foundry. But I will spend as much money as I can possibly tolerate, and who knows, maybe we'll get the whole entire stack in one go. Alternatively, we may end up buying warhammers and mithril claws or whatever the meta is these days. But anyway, we'll see what we can do, see how much damage we can achieve, and see what our golden ore stack looks like by the end of this. Can somebody explain what the hell I'm looking at here? There's just a whole gang of dudes just training strength right here. Is this a bot farm or what is going on? It's just on like one world. This just doesn't stop. I'm scrolling like crazy. Did I just say stalling? I'm scrolling like crazy. We use Windstrike and we scroll down. Like, how many people is that? 72 more options. That just, I don't understand that. Also, I noticed if I put my money in my bottom right in my inventory, I'm much less likely to accidentally click all of it into the bank when I deposit it. So just a little tip from your boy. Next world as well. There might even be more people in this one. Definitely more people in this one. This can't just be a bot farm. That has to be like a training strategy for like a strength pure without getting hit points or something. There's got to be some like legitimate reason behind that, because that's absurd. Multiple worlds just all packed of people pumping like crazy. Alright, so a few hours later, we have now bought every single piece of golden ore that we require. I don't know how, but I still have over 11 million gold. Maybe I added an extra zero into the cost of like how much this was going to be, but I've got everything that I need. We've got over 11,000 gold in the bank, and that has only costed me 2 mil. Somewhere the math just didn't check out. I was willing to spend over 7 mil here to make this happen, and I was like, It's a price that I need to pay because 70 smithing's so valuable. But all in all, we've got 70 smithing banked and we've still got a green cash stack, so I can't really complain about that. However, after buying all of this golden ore, I wasn't able to immediately process it. Instead, I elected to go to the Guardians of the Rift, where we got about 250,000 runecrafting experience, but we didn't end up getting a level. After doing Guardians of the Rift, I went off to the Woodcutting Guild, and in a second we'll switch over to the live gameplay, where we are peacefully chopping some yew logs here. I've been here for the last day or two, just kind of cutting redwoods, magics, and also yews. Just kind of at my discretion based on how much input that I need to do into the game. Of course, as soon as I start recording, the tree just doesn't want to cut, but in any case, my goal with this is to get as much fletching XP to get me as close to 90 fletching as possible. It can be quite expensive to use the broad bolts and whatnot, and since I have a lot of time that I need to AFK, I figure cutting down the yews and the magics will be good for money as well as fletching experience, and the redwoods will be useful in the future for birdhouses. That previous tree just gave me one log and then just died on me, which is fantastic. So now that I've got a little bit of time that I can actually actively play the game, my goal after this little segment will be to process all of the golden ore that we bought the other day. First of which, the thing that we need to do is acknowledge 92 woodcutting, halfway to 99 of course. I recently learned that every 7 levels your experience will double. There's the common meme where 92 is half of 99, but that's only because 92 is 7 levels lower than 99. So that rule applies for all of the different levels in this game. So 15 and 22, for example, 22 should be double 15. I think that's how it works. Interesting piece of trivia. However, trivia time is over. We need to go and process all of these golden ores that we bought the other day, make them all into bars and get ourselves a nice, 17 smithing levels? Yes, please. And for those who are curious, here is our current log stash. Cut up a little bit of teaks as well, but that did not last long after I realized how little AFK time that you have to cut those. But over 1,000 redwood logs, over 1,000 yews again, and approaching 4,000 magics. I don't know if the magics are worth my time whatsoever, but sometimes you have to AFK, so cutting magics, it's like you either cut those or you cut nothing else, so they're just bonus at this point. Alright, this one coming up is a little bit special. When we get this batch, we've got 1750 total, achieved with 58 smithing. We've got 12 levels to go, but that'll unlock us several new worlds of which that are probably less likely to have botters in them. So if I'm ever like hunting down dragon implings, God forbid, in Puro, the 750 total worlds are actually a pretty decent resource. But anyway, as I said, I've still got 12 levels left to go. I've got to put my right gloves on or I'm going to mess things up. I did buy an excess of gold ore, so even if I do screw up a few times, it shouldn't be too much of an impact. Here we are, the final inventory, one more left to go until 70 smithing. Just gonna burn my run a little bit just now. I generally try to run back when I don't have ores in my inventory, but there is 70 smithing, fantastic. Hopefully my screen doesn't light up with a RuneLite notification. But yeah, I found if I could pay attention and could be bothered, I would run backwards, but then I would walk back to the actual thing. We'll just demonstrate. If I'm walking with the ore, that's when you're at your most heaviest. And so we make sure we're not to burn our run energy. This is just when we're a poor, no stamina Andy, and then we run the rest of it back. But now that we've completed 70 smithing, I want to work on my 70 construction. And the way we're going to do that is with the utilization of teak planks. So with 86 magic, that means, of course, we need to head off to Lunar Island and get ourselves our plank make spell. I can't remember if that actually requires a quest to be done. Dream Mentor may be necessary, but I'm going to go check real quick if that is the case. I haven't actually done the Dream Mentor quest, I don't think, so if I do require that, that will be necessary coming up. Let's have a look. 86 magic is the requirement, requires Dream Mentor. Alright, instead of making planks right now, I guess we're going to do a little bit of a quest to make sure we can actually get this done. Considering this requires 2 astral runes per cast, I think I'll also have to go back to Baba Yaga and kind of loot the shops. It's peak time at the moment, so I'd be very surprised if the runes are in abundance, so I think the plan of attack is to get Dream Mentor done first, and then we'll buy ourselves some astral runes when the worlds are a little quieter than they are currently. To kill some time in between now and then, we headed off to the Woodcutting Guild, once again trying to sneak in a little woodcutting level. I'm going to be sad when I run out of like AFK skills like this. They're a good little default thing to do if I need to burn some time. But after the woodcutting level, of course, we got stuck into the questing. I ended up getting myself 4 gout weeds, a little bit overkill. I think the max you'll need on an account is 3, but I got 1 extra just in case. I managed to, like, coincidentally just, like, get the one-click technique down pat for the first, like, 3 gout weeds, so I thought, you know, while I'm on a bit of a run, I'll just get the 4th. But, of course, after Edgar's Ruse, we did Dream Mentor, which unlocked us the Teak Plank spell, and once that was established, I set myself up nice and comfy in the bank, got my planks and my money and my runes ready to go, and from there, it was just smooth sailing as we made, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many thousand teak planks. Long story short is, we now have enough planks for 70 construction in our bank. Good morning. It's been now quite a few hours of this plank making spell that I've done. I ended up doing quite a lot of it actually on my phone. The amount of noise this spell actually makes is horrendous. I must have a plugin on my PC because like it isn't, I can't actually hear it, so I'm grateful for that. But there is 87 magic. We can now teleport to Catherby. Fantastic. I was thinking that might be just some useless random spell, but that's actually quite useful for farming runs in the future, so I can't shit talk it too much. But here is an update of where we sit in terms of runes and money. Might as well just randomly cut this magic log for no reason whatsoever, I suppose. But there's 86 fletching, getting ahead of myself, am I not? But yeah, from here we've got enough planks. Let's check the bank actually, instead of just idly sitting here like a bot. Let's go check the planks. We've got 3.7k teaks, and that should be more enough with the usage of mahogany homes to get us to 70 construction, which is awesome. We are currently 53, and I'm kind of procrastinating this, so, you know, maybe I'll get a runecrafting level before this occurs, but when I'm ready to go, we can now engage in mahogany homes. If I take a look at my steel bar count, I wonder how that is doing. We've only got 184, which might be a problem, so what we are going to do, now that I think about it, is I'm going to use these 18 brimstone keys, and I'm just going to hope, cross my fingers, that we get more steel bars, because to be honest, I can't be bothered making more steel bars right now, so I'm hoping that one of these keys at least, I think you can get like clusters of like 300 plus steel bars from the brimstone keys. So anyway, we're going to try these 18 out for size, see if they pay off, but before I do that, I guess I'll go change my spellbook. Getting stuck on this spellbook is kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan of like not being on the regular spellbook for just like general navigation, but anyway, I'm going to change my spellbook, and then we'll go open up some chests, shall we? We've once again arrived up to Mount Carul, not here to get ourselves a task this time around, we're here to loot 18 brimstone chests. Are you kidding? I don't know, hold, let me Google that. Is that my first key that I've ever opened on this account? Let's have a look. Yeah, that's my first key, so, okay, like, sure, I'll take it. I need to Google the drop rate of this though, hold on, give me 1 sec. Okay, so it's a reasonable 1 in 200. This account, just any opportunity it gets, it's just gonna flex its RNG. Like, I'm here for the ride, bro. It doesn't even feel real when things like that happen. 1 more chest to go. I was about to go on a rant about, ironically, my luck isn't that good because I didn't get what I wanted. Well, no, I can't actually say that. I got this, and I got exactly what I wanted at the quantity that seems quite favorable. Brimstone keys, I guess, are a blessing. I forgot I had them in my bank, to be honest. But when I was buying golden ore, it kind of a flash went through my mind. I'm like, wait, maybe I can save myself a little bit of pain by using the keys. But coming in clutch now for the steel bars, I guess we'll take those. But in any case, for better or for worse, I need to not do mahogany homes right now. Instead, I think we're going to go to the Guardians of the Rift, see how fast I can gear up with this. Look at this absolute gearing up mastermind right now. I find whatever that trinket thing you get that teleports you to Guardians of the Rift isn't that useful. It teleports you like behind the portal, which is a pain in the butt. And when you compare it to just the casting animation of like the home teleport, like you probably save a little bit of time like using the trinket and running up like this. But I mean, I'm lazy, bro. I don't mind waiting an extra 5 seconds just to appear a little bit closer. But as stated, we're going to head into the Rift. I'm not sure if there's like a cape, a necklace, or a glove slot that I should ever be using here, but this is going to be my raw fit for now. Actually, I confess, I do like using the lunar cape. It's not really useful, but it just kind of looks kind of cool, so I guess that's the one little change that I'll make before I head in, but yeah, I'll have to do some rifting, I suppose, and when I can stop procrastinating, it'll be time for construction. I wasn't messing around when I said I was going to procrastinate for a little bit, but Jesus Christ, I didn't expect it to be this long. But there is 88 Runecrafting coming in strong. We didn't end up there though. We got 73 crafting as well. Low key, training my crafting at the Guardians of the Rift. It's kind of nice, I suppose. Nice little bonus levels. But speaking of bonus levels, there is 89 Runecrafting. I thought, Guardians of the Rift isn't the only place where I can dick around and waste time. We can go and mine some amethyst. Me and all my human friends here, we got to 98 mining. And then on top of that, we got to squeeze in a fletching level, because if I don't squeeze it in with anything else, the fletching levels just won't appear in the video. So there you go. Alright, so there is about a week's worth of construction procrastination. We are almost 90 Runecrafting at this point, but I think it now falls upon me to actually train the skill that I've said I was going to train a week ago. So I'm going to get up my full graceful, try and remember how to do this mahogany homes. I think we've got plenty of supplies to get to 70. The steel bar's almost 500 and the teak blank's almost 4k. That should be more than enough to get where we're going. This is going to be the rough setup that I use. I don't have a rune pouch, and like a part of me wants to go and do that, but it's been a week at this point, so procrastination can no longer plague my construction progressing endeavors, I guess you could say. Just using some of the dust runes we got from Dust Devils, and all in all I lose out is 1 inventory space. I've got 26 steel bars. Alright, that's a little better. Let the construction training begin. We are beginning with level 53, hoping to get 70 as fast as humanly possible. I also forgot a saw and a hammer. Off to a good start. Despite the rocky road, at the very beginning, the levels started flying in one after the other, achieving 60 construction quite quickly. It's kind of weird. You would think that these fast training skills are more easy to tolerate because you train them fast and it's over quicker, but for me it just doesn't work that way. I very much prefer slower skills. God knows why, but every time I train thieving with pickpocketing or construction like this, or in any other way, construction, I don't know if I could enjoy it in any way, shape or form. It just feels like it takes forever, but we just hit 61 right now, and coincidentally, we'll be able to buy ourselves the plank sack. I think that is the smartest purchase you can make initially. Let's look at the rewards real quick. From here, I think I'll end up just buying the carpenter's outfit. But yeah, getting the plank sack definitely makes this a lot better. I've stopped high alking while I do this because I've just realized I hate this so much, and if I'm adding pressure onto it, I'm just gonna quit. So I'm just gonna compromise with myself and just stick to doing the construction, not worrying about super idealized high alking uber efficiency. It's just not gonna happen. I also forgot to get a contract just now, which is great, but anyway, 9 more levels to go. I'm glad I ended up dropping the high alchemy. My brain was absolutely getting fried at this point. The plank sack also boosted morale a little bit, but all in all, construction, awful skill to train. I don't know why my brain hates it, but it just does. Ended up getting the carpenter's boots, but that is all we got for the time being. Sometimes I really do feel and believe that I could max a RuneScape character. I've never done it before, gotten quite close quite a few times, but when it comes to be such simple grinds, such as 53 to 70 construction in one go, this is just it's taken things out of me that I didn't know I had, and I'm never going to replace them. But after this contract is done, I don't even know what they're called. Are they a contract? Are they a rumor? Are they a task? They're the thing that somebody has told me to do, and I do it and they give me a reward. Whatever the construction version of that may be, that is what has been done. And when we talk to Leela over here, we'll get ourselves a cup of tea and 70 construction to boot. So I didn't mean to press the spacebar there. I wanted to soak in the moment because that was hard fought, hard gained. We did 590,000 construction XP right now. That is just a huge injection of total levels. But thankfully we can pause there. We've got 336 points. Ended up buying the boots, but I don't think we can afford any further pieces of the construction equipment. Let's check it out, Amy. What have you got for me? We could buy a duplicate pair of boots and just put those on our hands, call them gloves and call it a day. But somehow I don't think that's going to give me extra experience. But in any case, we need to get ourselves 70 Herblore. If we take a look in the bank real quick, we've got quite a stockpile. I'm going to get everything off my body that reminds me of construction and pretend I didn't just do that in one sitting. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean all the herbs that I can. It's actually like surprisingly decent experience per hour if you just like spam clean herbs like this. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do with my life for the next hour or so. So hopefully the next hour of your life is a little more interesting than mine, but I've got Herblore experience I need to get, and funnily enough, I'll probably enjoy doing this more than I enjoyed doing construction just now. But anyway, wish me luck. Hopefully my brain's intact when I rejoin you next. Also, I should say that I'm aware that you can get an NPC to clean these for you, but like I'm so like starved for Herblore experience that this is like legitimately a desirable thing to do. So like watch these little XP drops. They're actually pretty significant when you're just absolutely starved for experience like yours truly. But anyway, referring to my previous statement, I'll be right back. The amount of concentration required to do this quickly is kind of absurd. Why can I not keep a bloody level up screen on the screen? Good lord. So much focus required that I think I need to take myself a nice little runecrafting break after I do a bit of cleaning. Just waiting for this game to end over here. For those who are curious, if you go to the peak option here, you can see how far along the game is. See, we're sitting at 44% right now. So I'm going to be spam cleaning herbs until I get myself a position in this game. Again, Guardians of the Rift. It does not have its shortage of issues getting into a match, and hopefully in the future it's not as butthole as it is right now, but until then we have to clean herbs outside the game while we wait to get permission to enter the arena. Once we manage to barge our ass back into the Guardians of the Rift, the place to be, of course, we got ourselves to 90 runecrafting, which is crazy. We can now do soul runes, and we're one level away from being able to do double nature runes. I'm very much looking forward to printing off some of those bad boys in bulk. Okie dokie, I think that is gonna do me for now. That is too much Guardians of the Rift for one video. I do enjoy the minigame, don't get me wrong, but good lord, we need to leave. I've done a little bit of potion making in the background whilst trying to get into games, and I've managed to, I think for the most part, make all the potions I can. I will need to go ahead and actually buy some more empty vials. Oh my god, why is my thing on withdraw all? This is going to look messy. I haven't actually looked at my rune stack in a while. I don't make any lore runes when I do this, so my lore rune stack might be the least impressive, but we've got 3 white stacks here, 43,000 death runes, which is mad. Somehow 11,000 blood runes. I haven't made a single one of those, and the natures are creeping up. I have been clawing up my elemental stack. It is now overpassed my catalytic stack of points. The reason being is that when I hit 91 runecrafting, I'm probably going to use the nature portal even more than I have been in the past. So just trying to favor the elemental stack up until that point. I think I can buy some vials here. Very good. So I'm going to go ahead and buy all the vials of water I need. I actually thought when I bought these before that I bought way too many. I thought it was like super overkill. And to be honest, the amount I buy right now I'll feel like is overkill, but they will also get used entirely with time. Potions, man, it's one of those things that you kind of just always, forever, will need to replenish. And no matter how many vials of water you buy, you're probably just not going to have enough. You're never going to have a lifetime supply of vials of water, but I think that'll do me for now. Buy one more inventory while we run away. I don't know how expensive it is. Maybe I should have checked just then. I just lost my green cash stack buying glassy water bottles, so that's a bit concerning. But cash stack back down to the humble white stack. It is now time for me to put the remainder of my herbs into these glassy watery vessels, and from there I guess we'll have to start collecting secondaries, but things are looking pretty good, man. For an Ironman account, having a stack of herbs like this, that ain't so bad. So anyway, I'm going to put the rest of these into the potions and see what our Herblore stack looks like by the end of it. Alright, I think that is all the potions that I can be bothered to make right now. Not a bad little stack. I'm not too sure how much experience I have on me in terms of like what we've got here, but all that's left to do is get some of the secondaries. I think if I get to something around 65 Herblore perhaps, I can do, is it Latin? No, I can do Cadentines, and at 67 I can do lantadymes, but the secondaries for the lantadymes might be challenging, whereas the white berries that I've been intermittently picking up have actually come in clutch here, got over 1500. I don't think I'll need to replenish that anytime soon. So hitting 65 Herblore will be a nice little milestone in its own right, because we unlock 400 potions from the get-go. But anyway, I think it is time that I can start putting my potions together with the secondaries, and I guess we'll just find out what we've got banked right now, and that'll kind of dictate where I go next. But anyway, I'm going to use all my secondaries with all my potions and see where we end up. Starting off with the prayer pots, I think. I figured I'd migrate over to the farming guild after doing a herb run. I also needed to, actually, let's see, do we get anything from 64? No, not the case. I wanted to get some limpet roots done as well, so I figured if I go to a bank where I can see the limpet roots grow, I can just kind of make sure I maximize the amount of secondaries that I'm getting per hour, and not just banks down like a bot. I'm actually quite pleased with my little strat going on. This is a temporary thing, but if I go to the farming guild, I can see the patch for the limpet roots there, and if I end my next trip at Catherby, just now I can watch the limpet roots from this bank. So there is 65 Herblore. We can now use the Cadentines. Fantastic. Very much looking forward to using those. The potion stack's starting to dwindle a little bit. I'll be a little bit sad when these like low-hanging fruit sort of potions get used up. The Irits in particular, it's going to be sad to see them go, but it is very much enjoyable to use them. I don't think we'll get to 70 with what we've got, but I think with a little bit of secondary collecting, we might just get there, especially if I'm camping out these limpets the whole time. But with that said, we should be able to do like a few more different growth cycles of these limps, and by the time that I've used all the potions that I've got, who knows, maybe, just maybe, we'll have enough limpet roots to create all the super strength potions. Currently sitting at 289 limpets, and if we look at the qualm potions, I believe, we'll need 830, so that's probably not going to happen, but we can always be optimistic and hope for the best. Just ran out of Iron potions to make. We're back to clicking on herbs for experience. It's very joyous, but there is 66 done. We can now make super defense potions. So once these Cadentines have been completely cleaned, we'll be able to end up putting them into their potion form. I just got a pair of split bark gauntlets from a magpie impling. I just got 67 Herblore. Yay. No, but like for real, lantadymes, I think I can use those to make anti-fire potions as well. I think this will be the last level that I can get without moving my ass to go and get more secondaries, but there is 68 Herblore, 2 more to go. This is starting to feel more and more plausible that I actually get 70 without too much of a sweat. The main thing I'll need to do is get Mortmire Fungus, and since I don't have Draco Malfoy's medallion, I won't be able to easily collect it. I'll have to use the good old fairy ring method to collect it from the swamp, but even with that outdated method, I think collecting the fungi isn't too bad, so hopefully, look, we might be able to get to 69 before that comes into play, but I think at this point it is going to be smooth sailing. We just need to get those Mortmire Fungus. And the way we're going to be gathering that is by using this Fairy Ring BKR. If you've never used this before, this will pop you into the Mortmire Swamp. And there is 2 little spots next to each other that I like to use. I'll show you which one I prefer. I've marked the tiles here, but basically you want to stand in the middle of the triple clustered log spots. If you see here, if you stand in this spot, you've got these 3 logs here. If you stand in this spot, you've got these 3. The reason why I prefer this one I'm using currently is that you don't activate any of these other small bushes. You can accidentally end up picking up like random like apples or something. If I do it here, you can probably see this tree, okay, perfectly, it just didn't activate any of them, but this branch and this tree can also generate various things, so I just can't be arsed trying to not misclick and accidentally collect them when I don't want them, so that is why we go over here. But I'm going to finish this inventory real quick. So once we have the full inventory, we teleport to the Ferox Enclave. We need to restore our prayer points before we go back, so the Ferox Enclave is good for a bank, and of course we can restore our prayer. So from here I have enough resources to get me close enough to 70 that I no longer need to collect anything more, so I'm going to make the rest of these energy potions that I can, and then I've got a little trick up my sleeve for level 70. There is 69 Herblore, 1 more level left to go. We can now make anti-fire breath potions. This is where the lantadymes come into play, and where the secret little plant, it's not a secret at all. I like arbitrarily stopped short just so I could use what I'm going to use, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Actually, no, let's cross the bridge right now. Screw bridges in the future. Let's cross one at this very moment. In my bank, I have some scaly blue dragon hide, and for those unaware, there's a new monster drop. These could actually be multiple years old. They're new to me. Blue dragons will drop these randomly, and every time, oh my god, how do I even do this? How do you open this, brother? What? Can I not do this at the Ferox Enclave? Hold on, let me go to a different bank. And all we do is we simply use a knife on a scaly blue dragon hide. We get ourselves blue dragon scales. 50 per scaly dragon hide, which is sick. And that saves me chasing down approximately 130 different Mortmire fungus. My bank is full once again. But yes, these 100 blue dragon scales will be the ticket that we choose to use to get to level 70, but first we need to use the remainder of our Aventos and our Mortmire fungus. Yo, these potions give an absurd amount of experience. This is super satisfying to make these bad boys, but even more satisfying than the potions themselves is the level 70 Herblore unlock. That is every single skill requirement for Song of the Elves out of the way. We're now prepared and ready to engage with that quest, so I think I know what I'm going to be doing next episode. But with that said, this one has taken multiple weeks and I probably should wrap it up. So with that said, thank you guys for watching and I'll catch you in the next episode.